There was a couple more things I wanted to talk about. When I was talking about them not wanting us to own anything, and they're putting out all these articles about why you shouldn't want to own a home and stuff like that, because I was saying, they can't come on your property. Well, they can do whatever they want, but right now, it's more of a barrier. It would get to the point where that would make no difference. But right now, it still makes a difference. Because like I said, if they go door to door, they can't come on my property. I have a boundary. I've got a boundary all the way around my property. So they can't, I have a fortress. So they can't just come in. But then I was watching or listening to Edge of Wonder, and those guys were talking, and they were saying it is not just about the it's about the inflation, what they're doing with that, because they're buying all the properties. They were talking about how they're hurting, how they're doing it. With I've talked about this, burning down the cities, and they're burning down the farms because they're hurting us. They're moving us into these smart cities they're creating. And if you want to know what a smart city is, go look up about China. This is what's going on here. Face the facts, what's happening. And so when they get us to go in there, like I was talking about, they're burning down the farmland of my friend that I talked to earlier with the husband, the border control guy. They have the little farm, and they got a official letter, and it is a Gator Boy Foundation thing. It needs to go back to nature. 30% of all land needs to go back. So if you have farmland, they'll buy it from you. But you see, they'll buy it from you. The corporation, they'll buy your business. You can make a lot of money. They'll come in, they'll buy your property. And I told you earlier, her husband is, he thinks the regime's real. So yeah, he's all in. He's just like, hell yeah. It's like, but that's what I mean. When people are asleep, they willingly do it. They don't stop and think of all the different scenarios that can be playing out. And they aren't even considering the fact that they're giving the complete control over to the controllers. And so they were talking about the same thing, only they were saying buying all of the property in the suburbs, because they're doing that too. So they're buying the farmland. They're burning things. Like they're getting it to where they're getting us where we have nowhere else to go. That's how they hurt us. So destroy everything, so we have nowhere else to go except for where they direct us, because they're going to save us always. They're always going to save us. And so, but if you don't own it, look at how much that they can turn around and charge you to live. We'd be living in their smart cities, New York prices. We'd be paying, in Venezuela, it's $8 for one roll of toilet paper. When we saw what happens, people really need their toilet paper here. So, yeah, I mean, and I know that he didn't get those things that you need with the little X on them. I know he didn't get those. So I know not all the people, like they're trying to get us to believe, even, put him in there. They put themselves in there. And that's how bad it is. Our own government has sold us out to these, well, how they did it was real sneaky, because they do everything from we just have a bunch of sickos that run this country, and they get invited over there to some parties, just like old Epstein did, and they invite him over there to those parties, and who knows what they put in the sake, but they put stuff in drinks. They do all sorts of stuff. They invented roofie. Look at Cosby. Like, he's out. He's probably got a class going. So, our sicko people went over there to these parties, and they got blackmailed. They're all under blackmail. So, yeah, they're a bunch of weirdo sickos who are all blackmailed because apparently, they like to do some pretty sick stuff. And I mean, it even outraged Hunter. Even made the whistleblower, the one who's got all the footage, because that's how we found out, is because the CCP was, doing it. The CCP got a whistleblower. They had somebody come out and start telling, and that they've got all this footage, and they said either he goes in or we're going to start releasing footage. So yeah, they're in a death situation. I mean, they've got a no-win situation, these people. There's just, all they're trying to do is extend the time at this point, because they've got no way to, I mean, they're done. They've got no way to get out of it. And so when they're trying to get us into these cities, those guys were talking about, the price of how much they would skyrocket rent. So, people would be paying, you wouldn't be able to afford it. And in the food, we already know what they've done when they've gone into these other countries and you can't afford to eat. And the crime goes just crazy, because what happens when people are starving? That's why there's no good or bad. You go to a place where people are in that kind of state of mind, they will do whatever to survive. So are we going to say they're bad people? No, they're under duress. And that's what they try and do. They try and keep us all so stressed out. They even use frequencies. They do all this stuff to try and keep you tense and nervous. But they've got liquor stores everywhere. They've got gun stores everywhere. They've got the amount of illegal drugs coming in all the time. And we know Big Pharma, that's just, the only reason that they can sell them in the stores, because their other agencies said, it's like they snoped themselves. The FDA, the CDC, all of them. God. Like, oh, God, it's just so ridiculous. Like, it's just the same people. And so, yeah, and then they're going to charge us all this money. People won't be able to survive. And they were saying, that's what they have done, and trying to just make the people so hopeless and so, and I've talked about before, like, people, there's so many videos there. A little kid can get hit by a car, like the traffic, there are all these people in these small cities. And remember, they're only allowed one child. Like, they've got so much stuff. And, but what they have done is they make where there's so much crime and stuff, the drugs are available, pornography, all this stuff. And that's what they just want, all these addicts in these cities. And to make money off of us, no matter what. If you're buying stuff on the street that's illegal, you're buying it from them. They're the ones that are supplying it, so they profit no matter what. They've got every single purse is theirs. We're the ones without the purse. We're the ones who are just, trying to get our way with crumbs. And they're like, no, and they're going to get it to the point. Like, these people who think like, oh yeah, we'll get a raise, and then we'll be doing better. No, that's not how the government works. Wow. I started out making $1.65 an hour, and you were perfectly fine. Gas was 50 cents. Like, there wasn't money problems in my life. I mean, my parents and stuff, but I mean, they were pretty well off. I know there was people who were struggling, but it wasn't to the numbers that it is now. Now it's just crazy numbers. How many people? I mean, it takes nothing for a family to become homeless. Nothing. To paycheck, one thing happens. And I mean, that movie, Fun with Dick and Jane, that shows right there. That's one thing about, he has been in so many movies that really have shown the truth. It's trippy. But yeah, it takes nothing. People are just on the edge of crisis all the time. That's how they have us. And they have everybody hopeless, helpless, no self-identity, just a big old mess. And, they're always going to save us. Then they're going to, create the worst problem. And so then it is a sad, miserable world that they see for our future. It is 1984, and that is not what we're going to have. That's not what we're headed for. But, just to see on the big screen what they wanted for us and how close we were and how much that we all participated in our own downfall. Yeah, so that, and the other thing too, I forgot to say earlier when I was talking about the Moore show, when I watched that show, he did some kind of series about channelers, talking about how like they started understanding that they were channelers. That's why I started watching it, because I wanted to see the difference. Like, what's the difference? Because I've been hearing these people since I was little. So what is there a thing different? Like I didn't know. Like I didn't know it was like such a specific gift or something. And but the thing that got me is so now he's a lot fancier. His show's fancier. He's got I guess representation of some sort. Somebody who supports stuff. So I don't know, about the payment or whatever. Because one thing that we've definitely seen now, and once somebody is willing to start paying for something, they have an agenda, and you get used for their agenda. So, yeah, I mean, we're seeing that play out over and over and over. Jesus Christ, mainstream media. And so, anyways, this show that popped up the other day, and I started to watch it, and it's always the title that'll get me. And I can't remember what the title was. But so I went on and started watching this guy. And so he was talking about that he used to be a New Ager. And he used to be into crystals. He used to be into, being about your health or whatever, the stuff he was talking about, a meditator and all this stuff. But then he had, what happened? I don't even remember what happened. Why all of a sudden, I think he started reading the Bible. He started reading the Bible, I think. And then he switched to a Christian. And I hadn't heard that. I mean, that is a rare thing, I think, that I've heard. I mean, most people, because the whole thing is you are going to a third party when you go to a religion or God or something, like in that kind of sense, like that whole story is to enslave you and to make you, there's God's rules, there's the rules of the universe and stuff, the rules that we all abide by in like a universal thing. But I don't know. It just seems weird to go like, well, I'm enlightened, so I'm going to turn my life, my soul over to somebody else. I'm going to follow their rules so I can be a good person in their eyes. Like, I don't know. I just don't get that kind of concept, because you're the one who's going to make a difference to. You're the one who has to always face yourself. you know. And, you know, in dead life and soul world, you know, when you are the expression of your energy, and if you are low vibration and stuff, and you are not the brightest light out there, you know, who are you going to hang out with? The garbage people? I don't mean the trash man. I mean like the sludge of the world. Like no soul wants to be down in unless you're one of them. You want to be up there where the air is nice and clean, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really get that. I don't know. Maybe somebody else can explain it to me or something, but it doesn't really make sense in my head, because to me, the New Age is all about, you know, your connection to knowing that you are more, that you have a connection to something bigger than you, that you're connected to all things, that everything you do matters, that there is purpose and meaning to all of this. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't get that. And I don't get, especially if you've been in the kind of, it just made me think like, is this guy for real? Is it, I don't know. Because, you know, if you believe in reincarnation and you understand it and you understand about a soul's journey, then how could you switch out of that and go, nope, it's a one-time deal, one-time shot? Gosh, that is so loud. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I wonder, you know, when that comes in so loud, and sometimes it hurts really much, if it is artificial too. You know, like there's different sounds that come in. I don't know. That was really loud and sharp, and it was on a different ear than a lot of times. Anyways, you know, there's just a lot of weirdness out there, you know. And I say, you know, I mean, you can believe those things. I'm, you know, no shame in your game, whatever. If that's what you need to do to get close, you know, eventually you will go straight to God. Eventually you'll get sick of, somebody's rules. No matter how great the rules are, it's like, if you're trying to live by somebody's rules, you're trying to please somebody else. Then that's like a false idol. Even this idea of God we're being sold is the false idol, because who would worship their idea of this, what they're trying to sell us, you know? He isn't, he is, I don't know. He's not, I don't know. Like he's in a battle for eternity with this guy with the horns, and, you know, I mean, like, how powerful is he? And does he, you know, does he feel bad for the people who suffer, who never even get to learn anything about him, and then they don't get the opportunity to come up and wash his feet? Like, I don't know. The whole story doesn't make any sense. So it's just weird to think of somebody to turn and start selling that, because it's just not how I would identify as, like, you know, just everything, these stupid ass labels that people come up with. But this New Age thing, yeah, you know, it's about spirituality. It's about being close to your spirit, to get close to yourself, to being, you know, focused on all of that stuff. So, yeah. And it's, you know, and these people are trying to say, like, it's the devil and stuff like that. Well, you know, then why are we trying to get everything to go the opposite way from evil? I don't know. People just get all stuck up in their weird labels and stuff, you know? Just like this guy who could see me and just, I mean, seriously, if you see me out in public, I think I look pretty fit. I mean, for a 60-year-old person, I think I look like, you know, a very healthy person when you see me. And, yeah, to turn around and just be like, oh, tattoos just can't, I mean, do you see past the tattoos? You only see the tattoos and automatically drug addict. And where do you get these stereotypes? Where do you get these ideas? Just the same as like everything, you know, like how people think evil is the devils and demons and good is angels, and they have to have all these forms and stuff like that. But if you ask different people, what does an angel look like? I mean, you're going to have some people, oh, they're see-through, you can't see them. Oh, they wear white robes and they sing really nice. They have fluffy feathers. Other people, they look like warriors. They've got long hair and armor and stuff. And the same with demons. What do demons look like? Oh, they're the black eyes. They're, they look like animals. They look like goats. They're human with goat feet and all these different things. Those are the images like that were sold on there, but like however you manifest that, like however you envision that that's what it would be, that's how you would see it. And you can make yourself see any of those things. So yeah, if an you know, an apparition, you know, someone out of their body came in your vicinity, and you would see it, how you would project that image, if you understand what I'm saying. That has no form like that. You are going to see what you want to see. So I don't know if that makes sense to somebody, but anyways, you know, I'm sure I'll say it again probably tomorrow. So I'm sure one of these times that it will make sense. Okay, so have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.